Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Storm, and today we're going to talk about business careers. Some of you may not want to go into business for a career. That's okay. You don't necessarily have to, but this class is focusing on business workplace environment. So we are going to look at some of the careers that you may, um, maybe you might want to start considering some of these careers. Careers in business can be very rewarding. Business is the largest sector of the economy, and many of you will find yourself probably, in some form of business-ish work environment at some point in your life. So it's probably a good idea to start thinking about careers in general and what we want to do with our future if you haven't already figured it out. So let's take a look at some of these traditional workplaces or traditional careers and see if any of these, I don't know, might be interesting to you. So there are many different types of business careers, and not all of them are listed here. Obviously, we have things like accounting, consulting, entrepreneurship, finance, human resources, marketing, real estate, retail, sales. Um, you know, Tons of different careers in business. Essentially, what business is the pursuit of providing products, goods, and services to customers, and allowing for the transaction of money for goods and services. Basically, selling stuff, right? Um, Businesses can be business to customer businesses where they sell things to customers. They could be business to business businesses where they sell products to specific businesses. Um, there's a wide range here, and these are just general. These are all just general um, categories. If you say you're an accountant, that could mean a lot of different things, as we're going to see here in a minute. So let's talk about accounting. So accountants and auditors, what they do is they prepare, examine, and finalize financial reports. They're the ones who are responsible for making sure that the finances are handled properly, right? You may think about accounting as, well, my parents have a personal accountant that handles all their finances. Those are called CPAs or certified public accountants. And those people, their job is to deal with individuals, to help with estate planning, help with filing taxes, and so on and so forth. There are other types of accountants, such as business accountants, or a corporate accountant, where you can work for a corporation and handle the accounts for a corporation. There are also forensic accountants, and those guys and gals, what they do is they go over financial reports to find wrongdoing. These guys are specifically mainly involved in law enforcement. You can have a forensics accountant who will go in and check the books of a corporation to find out if they're doing anything wrong or shady. Um, in order to become an accountant, you must have at least a bachelor's degree in accounting or a related field. It's best if you pursue a graduate degree after that, a master's degree. Some accountant careers require certification in order to practice. Essentially, if you're a CPA, if you're a certified public accountant, then you are running your own business, right? And you're dealing with individuals one on one. So you're running your own business, which means you probably need to be registered as a business, and you need to be certified in the state that you're practicing. Median annual wage for accountants. Um, as with all annual wages, this can vary, but in 2006, May of two, or not 2006, sorry, in May of 2016, the annual wage for accountants and auditors was $68,000, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good salary for someone who does math all day. Consulting. Consulting is a huge it's a huge block of careers. You can be a consultant, and that doesn't really say anything about really what you do. Essentially, what consultants are the people who come in and help other corporations with specific parts of their business, right? You can be a management consultant who would come in and run a training session or consult with your managers to try to teach them how to interact with their employees better. You could be I don't know, a sales consultant or, really consultants are just teachers. They're people who come in and gain and give their expertise to a company to try to improve their operations in some way. So management consultants are probably the biggest sector of the market because every company is always trying to improve their management style, their management culture, train their managers better because managers can be the largest. They can be the largest part of a budget for a corporation, especially in terms of turnover and things like that. So you want to keep good managers and you want to make your bad managers into good managers instead of getting rid of them. So most management analysts have at least a bachelor's degree. That's probably a theme you're going to notice throughout most of these careers. They at least have a bachelor's degree. And if you're a certified management consultant, um, that means you've received a specific certification in management consulting that can really improve your job prospects and increase the amount of money that you make for coming in and consulting. Median wage for management analysts was about $81,000 in 2016. Entrepreneurs are kind of the Wild West. They are the outlaws, the rugged, they don't stick by the book. They make their own rules. Basically, entrepreneurs are people who organize and operate their own businesses. Um, there's a lot of risk involved in being an entrepreneur. If you have a good idea for a great product or service that you want to provide to customers, and you want to open up your own business, most small businesses um, die off in the first year. Matter of fact, 85% of small businesses die off in the first year. And most entrepreneurs do not collect a salary for at least the first 4 years while they're trying to establish their brand and gain a large amount of market share and expand their business to the point where they can start bringing in a profit. So um, if you plan on being an entrepreneur, don't plan on gaining a salary for 3 or 4 years while you're building your business. But it can very, very much pay off. All the business successes that we've talked about in the past, such as people like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates or people like this, these are all entrepreneurs. They started their own businesses, they built them from the ground up, and in most cases, they sold them off offered an IPO, initial public offering, and sold them for billions of dollars and maintained control of their businesses. And now these are the largest businesses in the world. All large businesses start as small businesses at some point. So if you're very risk heavy, if you're the kind of person that likes to thrive in a risky environment, entrepreneurship might just be for you. Finance. So with finances, this is kind of related to accounting, but financial planners or finance people um, aren't necessarily just focused on um, accounting for money. They're also focused on making money or investing money in properly. So there are a lot of different career paths in financing. You can be a corporate finance officer, a CFO, where you are essentially just trying to direct the funds of that corporation to the correct places. You can get into commercial banking, where you're running a banking office, a local bank branch, or you are managing loans and giving out investment or giving out loans, uh, small loans or business loans, things like that. Investment banking basically means you are an investor. You invest other people's money or your own into the stock market, and you make money as the stock market fluctuates, and you take a percentage of the overall profit from that investment. You could be a hedge fund manager where you collect a bunch of different um, accounts essentially, and you put them all together in this large fund called a hedge fund, and that fund um, uh, plays a diversified stock portfolio. And if one fund does really really well and the other one kind of falls down, you might have a good middle run where you make some profit. You could do private equity or venture capital. Venture capitalists are people who basically give small loans or large loans to entrepreneurs looking to start new businesses. If I'm a venture capitalist, if I'm a VC, and someone comes to me with a business idea, I might put up some of my personal funds to get them started, and then I would take a percentage of their profit or a certain amount of ownership in their company for quite a while. Um, you could be a financial planner. Financial planners will sit down with businesses, or mainly this is done with individuals, with families, where you sit down and you plan out their finances. You look at how much money they're bringing in, how much money they're spending, what they're investing, how much they're saving, things like that, and you give them advice on that. You could be an insurance broker, where you sell insurance to individuals or to corporations. You can be a public accountant, which we talked about a little while ago with the accounting section. So with finance, there are a wide range of careers in the finance sector, in the financial sector, that you can get into. Human resources. Human resources um, is a branch of business that is essentially focused on recruiting, screening, interviewing, placing workers in the right place. You are managing the resource that is humans, right? That is what human resources is. You are trying to hire the best employees, put them where their skills are the most utilized, make sure they have the right benefits to attract the best employees, make sure that they're getting the salary they need, making sure that they're working in a safe work environment and there aren't harassment issues or discriminatory issues going on in the workplace. So human resources are the people managers. They usually exist outside of the regular hierarchy of the business, meaning um, if you go to human resources about you need to be able to go to human resources and file a complaint about your boss or someone above your boss. Your human resources don't work for your supervisor or whatnot. Now, because this is a very highly skilled job and you need to be very, very good at it to be successful, you need a lot of education. Minimum is bachelor's degree. Most places probably won't hire you for any significant human resources jobs unless you have a master's degree in human resources. Um, Median national salary for human resources managers, and now that's managers, by the way, that's people who run an entire human resources branch for a large company. If you get a human resources and entry level HR job at a small business, you'll probably be making much less. But for a human resources manager, you're looking at about $100,000 a year, which is quite a bit. Marketing. Marketing is a fun career. If you're interested in marketing, I actually teach a class on digital marketing. If you want to actually do this for real and learn how to market businesses, but marketers, essentially what they do is they try to get the word out about your company's goods and services that they provide. You bring in customers, because essentially without customers there is no business. So they bring in customers, they get customers excited about the company, they manage the company's brand, they manage the company's uh, presence in the social consciousness, things like that. Marketers, good marketers, can be make the biggest difference in a company. Um, every company has some form of marketing. They need to get the word out about the company in order to have customers. The median wage for managing or for marketing managers, people who run marketing firms within a business, is about $131,000. It's quite a bit of money, but remember, those are the ones who are successful, right? You only make that kind of money if you're good at what you do. Real estate. Real estate is huge. Real estate is one of the largest sectors of the economy. People buying and selling real estate. Um, if you get into the real estate game, if you are a real estate broker or a real estate appraiser or a counselor, a real estate counselor, um, you know, there's a potential to make millions of dollars over the course of your career. Real estate is a hard asset, so it doesn't depreciate as quickly as say a stock market portfolio. If I buy a building, the building's there. It's a building. I could always sell the building, right? The value of that building isn't going to drop overnight unless, it catches on fire, but I still own the land, right? Anyway, I digress. You could get into a career in real estate as a residential real estate broker where you try to find houses for people looking to buy homes. You could sell commercial real estate where you work with businesses trying to find them new commercial land that they can develop on. You could be a property manager, meaning you work with owners of property to manage that property for them, collect rent, things like that. You can get into appraisal where you set dollar amounts or you set values for properties by appraising, the condition of the land, the condition of the buildings on the land, things like that. You could also get into real estate counseling where you help people figure out what is the best move for them in terms of real estate. Retail. Retail is huge as well. We all use retail businesses constantly. Many of you, when you go into business careers, your first job is going to be in retail, whether you're working at a fast food restaurant or you're working at a clothing store at the mall or whatever. Retail is a business, right? And if you are a cashier at a retail store, you are working in business. That is your entire job, is selling products to customers, right? So all the lessons you're going to learn here about professionalism and communication skills, that all applies even if you're working at, Jamba Juice or Starbucks, right? All of that still applies, right? Now, retail managers actually can make quite a bit of money. If you are, let's say, a store manager, you're managing an entire retail store, you are going to be responsible for accounting, inventory management, personnel, um, you know, everything. It's a huge job, but you can make quite a bit of money. Um, most retail managers make anywhere from 35 to $65,000 a year. It's a very good career. And it's one of the few careers in business where you can actually work your way up to a retail management position without a college degree. You can go right into retail right out of high school, and if you're a good worker and you're professional, you can work your way up to management at some point, and make really decent money in the process. Sales. Sales is different from most of the other things on here because sales is kind of a mixture of a lot of them. Sales is partly retail, sales is partly marketing, sales involves all this stuff, but sales is mainly dealing with customers, right? You are the face of the business, you are dealing with customers directly. So you're either you're calling customers on the phone, you're meeting customers in person, your customers are coming to you, but sales, um, again, one of the careers where you can get into um, without being uh, highly educated. You can get a sales career right out of high school, but sales is extremely important for a business, right? When people complain about businesses, usually they're complaining about negative interactions with salespeople, right? And so professionalism and especially knowing how to communicate effectively with customers is huge when it comes to sales. So, in conclusion, we just barely scratched a little bit of the surface of the amount of business careers that are out there. For example, social media directors, that falls under marketing, but was that job a thing 20 years ago? No. But now, every company is trying to find social media directors, people who will manage their Twitter accounts and their Facebook accounts and, their Instagram accounts and posting content that's fun and lively and matches the brand. That's actually a career now. People have careers in being on Twitter all day, and they make good money doing it if they're really good at it. So business evolves and grows over time, and it's best for you to find something that you enjoy, something that you think you're good at, and try to focus on how you can how you can find a career that utilizes those skills and maximizes the value that you can provide to a business. So I'm going to let you do some more research on your own and find some good careers that are business oriented that you think you would be good at. So I will see you next time. Thank you for paying attention.